Hello, crafters! This is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and the big surprise this month, there is a new Platinum Scout machine. This is Simon. It's an all-black Platinum Scout machine designed by Simon Hurley. Yay! And there's a new collection to go along with this beauty too, the Space Adventure. So in this video, I'm going to unbox this beauty. I'm also going to talk about tips and tricks. I'm also going to season the Platinum Scout machine and then make a card using the Platinum Scout. Love with his space adventures. It's the perfect collection for cards for boys or just masculine cards. Really strong collection with space adventure. So let's get into Simon's goodies. Before I get started, January's Kit Club is available, open to new subscriptions until the 27th of this month. I will link my video here. Don't forget that you can also watch the Club Along Crafting live video. That will be on January 16th. Special guest this month is Mindy Egan. Love. They're going to be covering both the December and January Kit Club. Alrighty, crafters, let's get into this video with the new Black Platinum Scout, which I am naming Simon. Behind me over here, this is Lila. I also have Scout, which is the white Platinum 6, and the Blue Mist. Did I ever name the Blue Mist? I think I was naming it Skylar. Okay, crafters, let's get into this video with a new Platinum Scout machine and a fun boy forward collection. Everything, including the 3D embossing folder, can run through this little beauty right here. Let's get started. Simon, I'm so happy for you. Look at this Simon Hurley Platinum Scout machine. Let's do this unboxing. So the Scout, this is my this is my fourth unboxing now, crafters. But this is gorgeous. So now this is for the crafter who doesn't want the white or the lilac shimmer. My personal favorite is still the lilac shimmer because purple is my favorite color. Crafters, you're going to get a universal plate system with this. Look at the die that comes with this. You also get a 3D embossing folder. You get your little toolkit. So love. This machine is so fabulous. It comes already assembled. You know I love the Scout, right? I've been waiting years and years and years for this. So it does say Spellbinders Simon Hurley. I'm going to tilt it at different angles. I guess he wanted it black, and it's not shiny. It's a matte black. Oh, this is fun. Very beautiful die cut machine. And when you open it, crafters, your space to work with this small die cut machine is 9 inches long, 3.5 inch wide. That's fabulous because you can get to cut a lot of dies with this kind of square footage. Some of what I've had before have a smaller footprint. This has a nice large footprint. You can put this away. If something pops out with usage, you'll have a replacement set that comes with it. It's ready to go like this. So here's the little die set that comes with it. It's 2 sentiment dies, wish big, and some candles. Fun. And then look at this candle 3D embossing folder. Love. When I went to the Spellbinders workshop, Denzel, who is the engineer behind the Platinum machine, Platinum 6, and now the Platinum Scout, said that we should season our machine. So this will come the same universal plate system that's on the Big Brother and Big Sister. Big Brother will be the Platinum, the large format. You use your platform base A, platform top B, cutting plate, and the other cutting plate. So the cutting plates are C. Look at this cutting plate. It comes in like a smoky gray. Spellbinders will sell this individually too. If you have the white Platinum Scout or the lilac shimmer and you want a different color plate, you can get this. Love. You're supposed to make your sandwich like you're die cutting, but without any die in here. And then you run it back and forth a few times just to season your machine. Work out the kinks. So just like this. And then bring it back a few times, like 4 or 5 times. When I did my first reveal, I just went straight into die cutting. But this time I'm going to follow his instructions. Then you want to take the shim. Shim is the F. This is a Mylar shim. This little thing, which looks all flimsy like this, Don't leave it in here. Use it and then take it out. It will warp that top plate. Once this top plate bends, that's when it can jam in your Scout. So you only use this when you have an intricate die. Take it back out, die cut everything else. You won't use it often. You know, you do have it if you need it. So he wants you to do platform A. The shim goes in between A and B here. And then the same cutting plates again. Run this a few times also. I love this. If your son wants to get into crafting, or if you love black, why not? This is a great machine. It does match perfectly too with the black Platinum 6 at scrapbook.com. I'm going to just flip it this way and just run it back. So you run this a few times. Notice I'm going a little bit faster, so I guess the seasoning is seasoning, like your cast iron. Alrighty. There we go. Nice and seasoned. Take it out. Don't leave it. You also get an embossing mat and an adapter plate. Here is my white Platinum Scout. This is the one I'm using all the time. This is also the one that jammed when my daughter used it. Try not to cut everything in one area the entire time. So with time, your plates will look like this on both sides. You can see that I've been using this a lot. See how straight it is? That's what you want. Bottom plate will stay straight. This top plate also needs to stay straight. Once she starts to bend, if it's jamming in here, switch it out. I could also bring in over here. I like to use a top plate that has color, because when you have a clear plate and you move it and it's brand new, sometimes you won't be able to find it. So I like to do clear on the bottom, color plate on the top. I did switch out the plate my daughter was using, and I showed it in another video where it had a bend like this. I don't think I still have it. I think I threw it away finally. I was showing it a few times to tell you guys that it can happen if you keep cutting, and I gave her a set to cut. She spent only like 2 hours and she jammed the machine. Before that, I was doing hundreds of cuts with this, but I was able to rehab and fix her. If you keep cutting all in one place, just like every other die cut machine, do a little flip once in a while, change up the position. You can still put 3 dies in here. Try not to go all the way up to the top, just like a regular die cut machine too. When you put something way up at the top, it won't go through. Same thing here. Stay about here, 1, 2, 3 items. The most I'll put is like 4 items. Flip it over, and you see both sides. This is actually both sides too. But you see how my plate is straight. And not much usage on the top, a little bit of frosting. But this is the original that I've always had. So I don't have a new cutting plate for the bottom. This is the same one I've been using the entire time. Love. Look how this is not bending at all. So most of the time when I'm die cutting crafters, I'm not even taping anything down. Piece of paper and a die, and I'm ready to go. Let me get a die. Let me get a die. Don't I have Simon's die? To rehab this one once she got stuck, because once she got stuck, she wasn't unsticking, and I thought, wow, why did she break like this? I was using her fine the whole time. Gina got her for a little bit, and all of a sudden she can't work. Bring in your magic mat. This is sold by scrapbook.com. Is $6. It's worth every penny. While editing crafters, I'm going to insert this little section so you can know why I'm choosing the magic mat by scrapbook.com. The reason why this magic mat is so successful, I believe it has a lower profile than the cutting plate. Because it has a lower profile, it reduces the pressure. With that reduction of pressure, that's how I was able to rehab my white Platinum Scout machine, okay? If you go on scrapbook.com, there's a new version of this. I don't own it because I bought the bigger version and I don't love it. So I'm going to talk about this for a second. This one is called the Slim Magic Mat. This is the regular magic mat for your standard die cut machine. I have this in both black, and then I bought their new magnetic mat. I ran this like 2 or 3 times and it bent as soon as I ran it, so not my favorite. It's very stiff though. It might be thicker and that's why it bent. So there is a magnetic version of this slim one as well. I don't plan on buying it. You can if you want and give it a try. But if your machine jams, the one you want to get is this one, which has a lower price point anyway. The black magic mat, the standard, and you can cut on both sides. Yay! Alrighty, moving on. Also with this, get yourself an extra set of plates. Because if you accidentally keep cutting, just like Gina, in one spot, and this top plate here bends, you're going to have to switch it out. It's going to start jamming on you. If you use the shim and you keep cutting and forget to take this shim out, it'll jam your machine too. This little thing, be careful with it. That's my second time saying it. Yeah, seriously. I rarely use it. I'm going to go with Simon, but I'm going to also show you that Mommy is working. It took me a few cuts, not a little bit of cuts, a few cuts with this to break it back in. Then I decided to test it with the top plate that was bent. It had memory foam. It went right back to jamming. But I did unjam it, and now she's back to how I know her to be. So we're back to being kumbaya. I'm going to keep the cuts easy. All right, there we go. Okay, crafters, I have some scraps of cardstock. That's the beauty of something with a small die cutting machine with small dies. You can go into your scraps. This is exactly how I cut. Let me take out these 3 here. I'll just do 3 for my sanity because I'm going to have to probably poke out that little one there. This is my white Platinum Scout. The old G, but she's a good G. Okay? And you see that I have a lilac shimmer cutting plate in here. See? She works fine. She is just rehabbed by using that magic mat and being patient with it. It will come back. And I'm going to use my little tool-in-one, poke out these little bits here. Everything is good, you see? All right. Now, I'm going to use this same set. Let's see. On Simon. I'm going to go with the old plates because in reality, that's exactly what I do. I don't just keep using new plates all the time, so I would use an old plate like this. Let's go like all 3. I love this thing flat like this. Come in with this and roll this machine. Like so. There we go. Ah, there he goes. Right there. There I go. And everything pops out. Let's prove the point again with his new plates, which I really don't want. No, I'm not going to use this bottom plate. That's going to bother me. I cannot help it. I'm going to use this plate until it's done, and it's nowhere near done. So I'm going to put platform base A, B, and all of these Scout machines, they come with the universal plate system. So yes, I have a few of these little universal plate systems. I'm not complaining about it at all. Thank you, Spellbinders, for sending me this beauty. Simon, again, I'm so proud of Simon. Because look at Simon. He has his own die cut machine now. Yay. And I love that he is bringing crafting beyond it just being us women and moms. It's like, you know, the guys got to have fun too. Why not have a nice die cut machine in black? I'll use a top plate because eventually I'll use this. See, now this is what I showed Gina. I'm in the center here. So I'll push it up a little bit then. But because I showed her in the center, that's where she cut the entire time. Then she jammed the machine. So no bueno. All right, let me turn this sideways. It's so odd to cut at this angle. My hand feels weird. There we go. Okay. See? Still working fine. All is well. Look at that good pressure that the die is in there. See, all the little bits pop right out. Okay? Love, love, love. All right, let's do that 3D embossing. For the 3D embossing, you would use the platform base A, the 3D embossing folder, and the adapter plate. I love the universal plate system. Whether it's this size or the big size, it will tell you clearly what to do. In full color, easy to read, not all like crazy sandwiches. It does have sandwiches, but it's not crazy sandwiches. And I like that. Really, really like that. Because sometimes, even though I use it all the time, you forget. And then you don't want to make a mistake. Because the biggest thing you don't want to do, crafters, is jam your machine. Once you do the wrong sandwich and you force it through, you're buying yourself a new machine. Nobody is going to replace it for you. None of these die cutting companies, because you made a mistake. So sometimes I'll forget what I'm doing. I'll just look here and I'm like, oh, yeah. It's my little assistant with the assistant. Another thing I love about the universal plate system, especially for die cutting, which is what you're going to be doing most of the time, it's easy as A, B, C. Just keep that in mind. You won't mess up your sandwiches. You won't mess up your plates. Yay! And then I'm going to go into the Space Adventure. A little bit under 9 inches, and then the width is 3, but the base here is 3.5, okay? Using the Spellbinders trimmer, I'm gonna cut. This is Spellbinders Periwinkle cardstock, if you're wondering what's that pretty purple is periwinkle. So this has a trim and a score. I'm gonna bring the score down, just use the trim. I'm coming in here at 3 inches. There I go. Turn it sideways. And how much did I need again? Was it 9? I don't remember. I'll just do 8 and something, like almost 8 3/4. Yeah, I have it all wonky like this. This is how I craft. So crafters, I am not going to spritz this. I just want to see what happens if I don't spritz it. And Spellbinders does have their mighty Mr. too. They're just bringing all sorts of fun tools, and they're pretty too. That Mr., yes, I'm still using it for my hair because I have curly hair. So it does double duty. I have 2 of them, okay? A, the embossing folder, and the adapter plate, which is D. Same sandwich you would use for the Platinum 6. All righty, here we go. Okay, it's catching. And there we go. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. See, Simon is working good. And here, let's see. Pretty. Okay, I did a little wonky there, but still, look how pretty that is. You could wrap this around something like a votive. Fun. Look at that detail. This has great pressure. This is not even my machine, but I'm so happy for Simon. Look at you, Simon. So you're going to get these beautiful plates. You're going to get the machine. And on the inside, it does say Spellbinders Platinum Scout in a gray colorway, okay? But on the outside, that's where you're getting the black with the Simon Hurley. Fun, fun, fun. Great job. And it's a nice matte. So it's not a chrome machine. It's a nice matte black. This one has just a little bit of shine. Let's bring out the babies. We're going to have a baby parade. Here is the White Scout, Simon's Black Scout, Spellbinders Lilac Shimmer Scout. When I went to the workshop, I also got the Blue Mist, but that was because I attended the workshop. It was part of the cost that we paid to attend the Spellbinders workshop. Let me go get it. Here is the Blue Mist. The Blue Mist is in my little travel bag. This is a Totally Tiffany 9x4-inch toolbox. It's been sold out, but it is a nice way to carry this on the go. The other day when I went out of town, I did pack it up. It does fit with the universal plate system, and here you see my magic mat in here. I have multiples of the magic mat too. I carry all of this. You see, here is the blue plate as well. Blue Mist is sold by local retailers like your local scrapbook store. So these are all the scouts. Simon is joining good company with all of these beauties, okay? Alrighty, moving on. Yay, look at this. Fun, fun, fun. Now let's get into Simon's new release to go along with the Black Platinum Scout. This is Simon's Space Adventure. It's 5 products. You're seeing 4 here. The 5th product is on the back. There's a stencil option for this 3D embossing folder, which is called Starry Night 3D embossing folder. So you can purchase the stencil separately. There may be a bundle. I will detail how this comes below. It's stars, and it does have a coordinating die, so you can die cut a sheet of cardstock and then run it through this embossing folder, which measures 2 3/4 inch wide, 7 inches tall. But the embossing folder overall, 8.5 inch long by 3 inches wide, okay? And then this is a 3-count stencil to color the stars if you want to do different color stars and all sorts of fun. Then there are 2 fun die sets. The first one is called UFO Friends. This is so cute. You get a little UFO with a beam of light shining down, and then this little alien. Look at that little guy. Isn't he adorable? And you get different tops for him. You can make him without the little top piece, so he can just be standing. You also have extra eyes and a set of antenna or a party hat. So there's lots of options with this little guy. This little planet here looks like Saturn. So super fun. You can do 2 different colors. It layers up and it has the rings. And then there is To the Moon dies. This one is a rocket. I'm going to put this together in the video. And then there's also a little moon. These are the bits for the rocket. And then some stars. Great job, Simon. Love this. To the Moon. And then Space Greetings. Set of smaller word dies. You get Happy Birthday. Greetings, Earthling. Love you to the moon and back. It comes with a shadow. Very easy to die cut. I like it because it has a small footprint. Very small sizing. There is a bundle option with this collection, a die bundle. So it won't include the 3D embossing folder nor the stencil, but you could get these 3 dies. So there's a discount if you want to get the UFO, the rocket, and the sentiment word dies. Love. Okay, crafters, now let's get into my tutorial. So we're going to die cut the fun rocket. Let's bring Simon back in. Instead of using my busted cutting plate, I decided to change it out. Use the top plate that I cut before. So it's A, B, C. Okay, let's get the bits for the rocket. So I'm using the To the Moon dies. And if you go on the Spellbinders webpage, there is an image of how to put it together. So I just took a screenshot and then printed out. And then there's one for the UFO and the little space alien. We have the rocket. I should have brought my craft stacks. I didn't. Craft stacks is a craft sorting tray, but I'm just going to go from here. Okay, these are the bits I'm going to use. I'm going to skip these. I'll show you my examples after I make my first card. Here are the pieces of cardstock I'm going to use to put together the rocket. I'm using Poppy Field for the rocket body. This is that centerpiece here. I have graphite. At the bottom of the rocket, that's this piece. I'm going to use brushed black cardstock. There is trim. I also have, again, graphite, or I'm going to cut both and see which one works. This one is brushed silver. Here for the rocket pieces, the landing gear and the top, this is fog. Here, this is the little burn. So I have 2 options because you have a bigger flame and a smaller flame, okay? Larger flame will be the orange, which is persimmon, and this smaller flame here will be saffron, okay? Alrighty, let's get to die cutting. Here I'm putting the rocket, the little flame, the landing gear. So here I have 4 pieces. I'm going to put the top and run it through. Alrighty. Got my tool-in one just in case I need to cut anything. Okay, that popped out nice and clear. That popped out nice and clear too. Rocket base. Nice and clear. And the landing gear. All of it popped out nice and clean. Love! When it's brand new, you can flip it if you wish. You don't have to, but you can flip it. And then come on in with the next set. I changed my mind. I'm going to also cut this in brushed silver. I have a feeling I'm going to use it for that interior of the rocket. All right, roll it on through. So that's 3 pieces now. Perfect. You see why I love this? Because I can bring it in and then move it and then get back to it, then bring it in, move it. I counted how many previous ones I have. Crafters, I have about 5 of them. Of different brands I'm talking. That I bought in the past, that I was not using, and I was waiting for a really good small die cut machine. So I love this. Okay, crafters, I'm doing a sidebar because I am editing my video. It's now nighttime, but I just said something in the video and I'm like, you know what? Okay, let me show them. This is not to bash anybody. I purchased every single die cut machine you see here. These are all mini die cut machines. I told you I have 5 of them. I was not joking. Most of them have minuses. One has a plus, but she also has a minus. So then all 5 of them I don't use, but I do have them. Some have too small of a footprint, 2.5-inch opening or a 2-inch opening, and no pressure. I'm not calling any brand. You just see it. That's it. This one, no pressure. This one, same thing. No pressure, small footprint. These are not cheap, so I have been waiting for years. This one is actually not bad until you use it. This is one of the plates. And this is like second run. Like you run the first one, then the second time it starts bending and then you can't straighten it. This drives me crazy. This I can't deal with. And then the last one is this one. This one is actually very good. The only issue with it, you have to plug it in. So it's not convenient for me and quite heavy. So I can't just lift it and put it in, use it and put it out and come back in like with the Scout. You could go one hand, I guess, but no, it's too much. So here's Simon. Here's the other one. Not bad, good pressure, electrical. So on the road, when I'm in a hotel, resort, wherever, this is more convenient for me because even a crop, I have to find an outlet to use this one. Plus, it's not convenient to bring it on, put it off, bring it on, especially when you're working with the tempered glass. This is much more forgiving, always moving it. Much easier, much quicker, and I can go one-handed. This one is like a 2-hand job, pretty much. So I do have 5 of them. I was not joking when I said it. I was just listening to myself in the video thinking, you know what, maybe you need to show what exactly you have bought. And they're all like going in my die cutting museum. I am dead serious when I said I was waiting for the Scout. If Spellbinders did not send me the Scout, oh, I would have bought it anyway. Hands down, I would have bought it. I gave everybody else a chance. Time and time and time again, didn't I? So I would have bought this anyway, just to try it. In my personal opinion, which is what I'm giving you here, she is fabulous. And that's why I wanted to stress, if she jams, you can fix her, because she will jam depending on how you use her. I was fine using it the whole entire time. Nothing happened. And then Gina played with her and then that was it. But I fixed it back. So now I have Simon now that is working very well also. Love, love, love. Still saying this is fantastic. Great job, Denzel, the engineer of the Platinum Scout. Okay, moving on. There's the other flame. And this bit here for that center. Look how clean that is. And then look at that embossed detail from here. Love. The Scout, crafty assistant. Definitely my crafty assistant. For sure. Changing my mind while I'm doing this. I'm going to go graphite and I'm going to go fog here. Okay? All the fun layers. So Simon released 2 things. New machine and then a fun space adventure. You can make lots of birthday cards with this. Especially if you have a young child who you want to make a lot of cards for. Or you can do a whole themed thing, invitations with this. And Simon does have a hot foil set that has the sentiment, you're invited. But there's a you're invited too. So you can really make the whole entire thing yourself. It's from his birthday bash collection. I'll link my video here if you want to take a look at that one. And if you're wondering, why am I using brushed silver? You can also use treasured cardstock, but I wanted to go with the brushed silver. This has a galaxy look to it. That's why I'm using it. See how I'm going back in the center again? It's fine. It's not going to jam on you. It's just if you stay there the entire time, then you'll notice, oh, what's going on? And then you can fix her. Or him. Simon is a masculine Platinum Scout machine. Did I cut this already in the same? Did I do this twice? I sure did. This is the rocket trim. And the other day when I went on a road trip, I took both the Blue Mist Platinum Scout and my Platinum 6 die cut machine. My poor Platinum 6 was so upset with me because I normally use her all the time, but I was using the Platinum Scout the entire time. The Platinum Scout is a really cool machine when you're doing road trips and such. Alrighty, crafters, so that's it for Simon. I'm going to speed up the video here with the assembly of the rocket. You'll see it clearly, but I just didn't want to spend too much time doing this because I have to now put the card together. Then I'm going to show you examples, all sorts of goodies. There will be timestamps in this video, okay? Okay, crafters, I assembled my little rocket. Now, if you were seeing me here rubbing all this glue, don't worry, I just can use some isopropyl alcohol to wipe up my Glassboard Studio glass craft mat. Thumbs up. This is a Barely Art glue holder, if you're wondering what this cutie patootie is. I'll put a link below where you can get that, okay? It might not be this exact style, but they have different ones. This is nice when you want to park your glue and you don't want to have to keep covering it up back so it doesn't clog. So it's a nice thing to have. Now let's get into my card base. I'm making an A2 card. For my card, I'm using the following supplies. Everlasting circles. The largest die in here is 4 1/4 inches. A series of circle dies, a nice foundation. Also, another favorite of mine I'm using, Precision Layering A2 Set A. Largest die in Set A is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch. Then I'm using the second die in Set A, which is 1/4 inch shorter. I'm going to do a layer thing, but it does come with 2 sets. There's a Set A, Set B. Set B would have been too tight to the edge, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. But this is fantastic. 16 dies in each, another foundation set. And lastly, I'm using the Plaster 3D embossing folder. This is also in Simon's birthday bash collection. 5 1/2 inch wide, 8 1/2 inch tall. So you would run this one in your Platinum 6 or your larger die cut machine. So for my card layer, I have Precision Layering A2 die, which I'm going to put here. This is the A2 card base. And then I took one of the circles from Everlasting Circle and I'm going to run it like this. You can tape it down with yellow tape if you wish, but I already have it pre-cut, and I did put some 2mm foam tape on the back. For the second layer, I cut black cardstock, run that black cardstock through the plaster embossing folder. This looks like a galaxy to me. I can't do this technique on camera because this mica that I'm using, you have to stand up and spray it. Because if you spray it like at this level, it's just going to be one big blob. This is a beauty that I haven't used in a while, but I might as well talk about it here for a second. This is from Brutus Monroe. It's called Shimmer Mist in Pearl. You stand up almost to your head. That's how you can control the splatter like this. Another option is using splatter white. You can also use your Yasutomo metallic watercolor too. So this is fabulous though, especially for these boy cards. Love. So that's what I did with this panel. So now I'm going to take the top here. With the tape, I'm going to remove the tape backing, then stick this on here. At this juncture, you could put a piece of acetate in here and turn it into a shaker. Here is that beautiful galaxy. On the back, this is another option too. Look how pretty that is. I cut it smaller so I don't have to worry about it going over the edge. All right. So there is my little galaxy, and I'm going to put my rocket like so, flying through the galaxy. For my rocket, I'm going to pop it up off of this. There is options of 1mm tape roll, 2mm, 3. I'm going to go 3 with this. I'll put a link below. It's from scrapbook.com. I'm going to go at that angle with it. I think this is so fun. Look at this little guy in the sky taking flight. I also put a piece of 1mm foam to level it off. I have 2mm here on the side. I put 3 on the rocket. It's actually higher than the card. So to level it out here, that's when I come in with the 1mm. You see how I'm playing with this foam thing? If you watch my channel, I always talk about this. This is me now leveling out that piece. It makes it more sturdy when you level it out. I removed the tape backing, and now I'm going to adhere it at that angle that I showed you before. Like so. There we go. Isn't that fun? I also have an alien done. I'm going to put him here. And then I also have the sentiment, happy birthday. I'm trying to think, should I go like this? Crafters, I think I like this placement. So I'm going to go with something like this. I'm going to pop up my little guy here too. I'm coming in with Spellbinders foam squares. That comes in different sizes as well. There is a low profile, 1mm foam. Then there's also the regular profile, which is 2mm, which is what I'm using here. I'm going to adhere my little guy like this. I think I want to bring him in about there. I'm going to pop up the sentiment as well. I'm coming in with Spellbinders foam squares, 1mm. I could use a tape roll, but I'm going to have to cut it. So sometimes you just want the quick and easy. Let me grab my other tool-in-one. I have a white one too. If you want to match Simon's machine, then you can get the black tool-in-one. Okay. There we go. This is my Space Adventure card. So fun. All right, now I'm going to put some double-sided tape and adhere it to a A2 card base. Spellbinders has a 12 by 12 inch scoreboard, crafters. This is a new item if you haven't seen it before. This is a panel that measures 5.5 inch tall, 8.5 inch wide, and I'm going to score at 4.25 inch on the 8.5 inch side. And this would give me my A2 card panel. 4.25, 5.5 inch. I'm going to take my Teflon bone folder. If you are new to card making, treat yourself to a Teflon bone folder, any brand, just as long as it says Teflon bone folder. You'll be a happy crafter. It helps you to create nice crisp edges for your cards and burnishing, pretty much. And then there is my card. I think I need to trim this down a little bit. The Spellbinders trimmer. Going to go just a little hair off. Just a hair. There we go. Now I'm going to apply some double-sided tape to the back. I like to use this to cut the double-sided tape. I could put wet glue, but I live here in South Florida. Wet glue on cards, a lot of it on a card base ends up curling your card. So if you use double-sided tape like me, this is a great little tool, okay? I'll put a link for it. If you do want to get it in your local craft store, you have to go into the sewing section. Not all of them carry it. So I bought this one on Amazon. It's a 2.5 inch quilt square. A few companies have it, not a lot, but it's fabulous because it really helps with this. Don't go bigger though, because I have a 4-inch one. It's too much for something like this, but it's your little assistant again. Do you see my trend of having crafty assistants? Yes. The Scout. Tool-in-one. This one to cut the double-sided tape. 9-inch pro shears for sharp cutting and fussy cutting. All of these things are my little crafty helpers. I like crafty helpers. I like gadgets that really come in handy for crafting. Remove the tape backing. I'm going to adhere it onto the A2 card base. Alrighty, so here is my card. Let me show you some more examples that I made with this fabulous collection. There is this version, which is the Rocket. This time I did some ink blending. This is with Island Blue cardstock. In the background here, I use the same everlasting circles with a new product from Spellbinders that some of you may not know is at Spellbinders. They have masking sheets. This is a 12-pack. I did a little circle mask and then did some Galaxy ink blending and then came on with some black ink afterwards. And again, the same pearl shimmer mist and spritz it. So you can do a ton like this or you can do it like this. And then I use my Olo markers, which are alcohol markers, to color my little moon. So this version has like a big moon. And then I use the sentiment, love you to the moon and back. This is a A2 panel out here. This is 1/4 inch larger, okay? My third card features the UFO die set and the sentiment, greetings earthlings. So here you're seeing all 3 sets of sentiments. Look at the little beam. With the beam, I just cut some vellum and put him there because I think the vellum gives that highlight. This is oversized from an A2, but it's not quite a 5x7. I had it taller, but I did trim it down. That's the moon die. Here is Saturn. Isn't this fun? The rings are using treasured cardstock, the glitter metallic. In the background, I did some ink blending, and this one I did use splatter white. So you can have your Galaxy like this, or you can come in with your metallics and mica and such and do that too. Lots of fun and play. Okay, crafters, that is it for Simon's new release. Check out the beautiful Scout. If you love the black colorway, this is a fantastic die cut machine. It is small but mighty, so it does have strength. You can have lots of fun with Simon's Space Adventure. Everything will be detailed and linked below. Crafters, thanks so much for watching. Until the next video, which will be Jack of all trades, Stay crafty, my friends.